good. Good evening, race fans, and welcome. It is the Icon Cup Series, season number 1, race 2 of 18, live from the virtual Loudon, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. It's a mile oval called the Magic Mile, 1.6 kilometers, 50 laps in the stage, and 151 laps overall. Tonight, it's the Fight Lymphoma 151. And we are so excited to be with you for this because tonight it is all in memory of Mike Jennings, who is being remembered tonight. And of course, there are over 80 types of lymphomas, and every 7 minutes someone is diagnosed with it. While some types have huge success rates of cures, there's still a lot of work to be done for one of the most common types of cancers out there. And of course, we appreciate Michael Jennings bringing this to our attention. We'll be talking about it more and talking with him more tonight. But in the meantime, we talk about tonight's race here at Loudon, New Hampshire. And it is great to have you with us here, Christian Snyder, to give us a look at what we can expect here in Loudon for tonight's race for the Icon Cup Series.
Yeah, good to be back here, Trevor. Last week, if that's any indication of how tonight's going to go, this is going to be an amazing race. These guys did make a little adjustment to the setup. Everybody was complaining that it was a little bit of a loose setup, so they tightened them up a little bit to make them a little grippier out there for better handling. And I think it's going to set up for a lot of two-wide action and a lot of green flag runs, so I'm excited to see what happens here.
Always excited to see what's going to happen on VirtualRacing.Network. Seems like we always get our share of awesome races. Last week at Atlanta, what a way to debut the Icon Cup Series, and so much fun to see Jovi Ray take that victory, and then of course in the NORA Cup Series go on to do exactly the same thing. NORA Truck Series. Awesome debut by himself, and certainly as we go forward here in New Hampshire, the drivers putting in their qualifying laps now. We can see Christopher Howell of Average Joe Motorsports topping the charts. Third is Kyle Gilbert. Second, at Andrew Cootie just coming in. Now Kyle Gilbert actually jumping up to the top there with that time of 30.82. Same time that Vincent Loria has set, but Loria just a little bit faster, down to the 1,000th of a second. And drivers still putting in their times hot and heavy. Here is Cody Height. He put in a great race last week. And of course, a lot of these drivers as well, Christian, carrying that lymphoma green ribbon in honor of tonight's sponsor. And that's always great to see as well.
Yeah, a lot of cars out there showing their respect, and you love to see the community come together for one of their drivers. It's happened before in NORA that we've done that before in NORA, and it's good to see this league take action to fight cancer as well.
Well, Scott Patton, just as we're talking, now goes a bit faster, 30.77 on track. Super run from Scott, one of the independents that's in the field, and one of the last runners that we're going to get a chance to see, I believe, tonight. We look over here at Brad Slagle for Average Joe Motorsports. He's finishing up his run in 15th position. And why don't we go ahead and jump on board with Cody Eldred as he makes his run, just coming through now. Well, I don't know if this is the run that we want to jump onto, because it does seem like for the Detach House's speed, he's not really putting a lot of speed into this effort. I'm not sure why he's stopping before the start-finish line there, but Cody going to be one of the last drivers to qualify for tonight. Jamie Lee Dunning. He had a great race last week. He is just coming up to speed. So why don't we jump on board and perhaps you can take us around New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Well, my cameras on my end are not working at the moment, but it's a flat track. You want to run that bottom line, grip that white line. This track's kind of weird because the old apron is actually now part of the track. So whenever you're on that, there's like a little bit of an unbalance for the car, and if you get your left tires on it, it actually helps the car grip a lot more. So you're going to see a lot of drivers go down to the apron tonight and use it for an advantage.
Well, as we were just jumped on board there, Jamie Lee Dunning, and hopefully we got the camera situation squared away. Sorry about that, but it looks like he had a problem getting up and clipping the wall, so Jamie Lee not getting in a full qualifying effort. In fact, a lot of these drivers not able to get in a full qualifying, and as a result, they're going to be starting all the way at the back, and on a short track like this, that may be a serious disadvantage, Christian.
Yeah, at a track like this, track position is everything. You want to be as close to the front as possible, and tires are probably going to wear pretty quick here at this track, so you want to... I don't think you're going to gain much for track position in the pits because it's going to be 4 tires every time, I'm sure.
So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting order for tonight's race here. The Icon Cup Series round number 2 at New Hampshire, the Lymphoma 151 in memory of Mike Jennings. Right now, it is Scott Patton who takes the pole position. Congratulations to him taking the second ever race's pole position. Alongside will be Kyle Gilbert. On the second row will be Vincent Loria. And on the outside of him will be Tim Harper. So Tim Harper for Harper Motorsports having another great start here. And you'll see a few of those Harper Motorsports drivers here in the top 10. On that third row, Christopher Howell. Outside of him will be another one of those Harper Motorsports drivers. That is Cody Height. Cody Height on YouTube. I understand Tim Harper is also streaming as well, so a lot of these drivers getting into that act. On the fourth row, Jacob Smith and Justin Michael. On the fifth row will be Andrew Cootie and Blade Timmons, another one of those Harper Motorsports drivers. In 11th will be Kevin Gunther, and 12th will be Brian Smith. And can you take us through the rest of the times?
I believe I can. Let me just pull it up here. Yeah, it looks like 13th Cody Neal, 14th Brennan Gregg, 15th Ryan Patty, 16th Brad Slakel, I think it is. And then we got Adam Ball and Justin Bissonette. And then we got Mike Jennings and Tanner Dio on row 10. Sean Purcell, Evan Patenko, Ronnie Norman, Jamie Lee Dunning, Brandon Coley. Let me see here. Timing seems to be jumping all around because these guys are passing each other. Brandon Coley, Cameron King, Isaac Emerson, Hanover Fist, Stephen Tuck, Robert Lakova. So that's going to round out your field, I believe. There's a few cars left behind, but we are about to go green.
Indeed we are, and we are green here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Loudon, as I still refer to it, and we've already got a tangle. Already. This is going to involve several cars. Indeed it does. Too many cars to name. Ronnie Norman, Cameron King, Christopher Howell, Justin Michael, Adam Ball, Blade Timmons, Kyle Gilbert, all caught up in this mess. And as per usual, we're going to need to jump through the hoops of figuring out who was responsible for what, but the opening lap just coming from the green flag. Let's jump back and take a look. This is, let's take a look. Who do we want to start with first? Why not Cameron King? Let's see where Cameron King involves himself in this. Looks like they're already stacking up in front.
Yeah, he's way behind it. This happened, I think, third place. Whoever was in third place, it was a bright yellow car, so we'll have to see here.
There's
you
one
do
of the
see
bright
a yellow car
cars
in the wall. 227, I believe, was the number of the car.
So that's Kyle Gilbert. So why don't we go ahead and jump on the chopper
Yeah,
cam,
here
and
it
check
is.
this out. So this is coming to the green flag. 227 on the outside. It looks like the 12 of Harper just kind of steamrolls him into the corner.
Yeah, and that's a product of this track. The break points are a little bit different for each driver, and Harper probably wasn't expecting him to break as early as that, and just misjudged his braking point. Could be a possibility. We'll have to ride on board here. So you see, he just looks to the bottom and then doesn't expect him to break that hard and gets into the back of him there, and that's going to cause about 6 cars to get involved. I think I counted 6.
Indeed, numerous cars around. We'll go ahead and check and see what it looked like from Ronnie Norman's point of view here. Actually, we can check on Blade Timmons as he got caught up in this mess.
Yeah, you can see the smoke, and then everybody just fans out and nowhere for Blade Timmons to go there as he gets hit hard on the driver door. So that's not going to be very good for his suspension there for the rest of this race.
And just very unfortunate to start your race out that way. Of course, drivers, I mean, it's all about surviving any one of these NASCAR Next Gen races, but certainly to start out on the very first lap, getting taken out or ending up in someone else's wreck is not the way you want to go. So we jump back, we'll jump back to the live picture, and a few of these drivers taking advantage of the chance to come down pit road. Some of them already taking damage in that yellow flag. Justin Michael, Blake Timmons visiting pit road. Here's Kyle Gilbert currently sitting on pit road with that damage. Adam Ball now on pit road, and Christopher Howell as well. You see all of those vehicles are damaged. Unfortunately, I see that Mark Morton does. I don't think he made it to the start. So, and William Baker as well, not making it to the start here tonight. But we resume here with still, I believe, about 30. See how many cars we still have left running at the moment. 28 cars on track and 3 cars still sitting in the pits. So, unfortunately, for some of those drivers, having some difficulty early on, but Scott Patton, who took the pole position, continuing to lead here through this yellow flag, and we'll be back underway here very shortly with the pace truck lights out. Vincent,
Yeah, I believe they are doing a single file restart here.
well, perhaps that will avoid the incidents of the double file restart or double file start that we had initially. But to me, when I was watching that replay, it really did look like Gilbert maybe thought that he would, instead of staying up on the high line, it just kind of looked like he thought like he could bring it back down. And I don't think Tim Harper thought he was going to try to check up and bring it back down. But safely into turn 1 this time, all the drivers are. And there's Cody Height, that number 17 car on the outside, already challenging into that 4th position with Andrew Cody trying to take a look now as well. And just on his inside, Brian Smith for 313 Motorsports. Now they're racing. Yeah. This is a 3-way battle here for 4th place.
I was about to say they almost went 3 wide there out of 4, but they're going to single file it up, and it looks like they're single file throughout the entire field, and that's what these single file restarts are going to do. But as they get into the corner, you see them fan out. Some people using the outside, some people using the bottom. We'll have to see which groove works throughout the night. I know outside is good for defending passes, but inside's good for trying. As we see the 9 overdrives the corner into Cody Height. I think that was Cody.
Well, it looks like he's got the Boston Bruins logo on the nose of that car, but I'll tell you what, this is not a hockey match. So you're not trying to do a hip check out there necessarily. That could be quite dangerous. But he'll slide up the track. Cody will. That'll give the position up to Brian Smith, who now challenges for that 4th spot and takes it. So move him up. And Cody Height now falls back a couple of positions. Here comes Ryan Patty as well into this mix.
Yeah, Cody kind of backed off of it whenever he got hip checked there by the 9, and now he's going to lose 2 positions, maybe 3 here to Ryan Patty, as he's underneath him here in the DeWalt Chevrolet.
And it looks
And he
like
will.
Cody
He'll pass
really
him.
starting to struggle
Oh,
here, drifting back. I think we've got an incident further back. That appears to be, I believe, the 56 of Kevin Neal.
no caution. He
Cody
was able
Neal,
to keep it
excuse
straight.
me. And he does keep it back together again. No caution brought out. The Napa 56 back underway there for 313 Motorsports. And now we do have a yellow flag out. I believe it's Tanner Dio having a moment, now stuck on that front straightaway.
And that's some heavy damage there to the left side. We'll have to see how he got that here. I believe there was another car sideways on the front stretch, so we'll have to see.
This is Justin Michael and Robert Lacavara having an incident as well.
Tell you what, Justin Michael hasn't been having that good of a week. His week started out on Thursday, involved in a wreck in a different league. So seeing him in this one already in two wrecks, that's unfortunate for Justin Michael there.
Well, when it rains, it pours, unfortunately, and there's the 20 coming around in front of another driver. And I think that incident happened a little bit further back between Michael and Lacavara. We're going to have to go back and see that one. That was kind of interesting how they both ended up getting into...
just kind of, dart without feathers to the 20 there. Let's see what happens here. Oh, he gets a little loose off the corner, it looks like, and comes down into Justin Michael, and immediately Justin's like, we're taking this behind the wall.
Indeed, I do believe it's Lacavara that gets a little loose on the outside coming off the corner. You watch the angle of his car, and I don't know if he got loose. Perhaps if we go back and we watch from on board with Lacavara, we'll be able to tell a little bit easier from his wheel angle here. Let's take a look.
Yep, you can see it just gets a little bit light on him, and he goes a little sideways to the left, and Justin Michael just happened to be there and collects him.
Well, I tell you, I mean, is this the type of track that you would expect to have this many cautions at so early on? Just a mile oval that's magic for causing incidents.
You know, I didn't expect it. I did read that they adjusted the setup to make it not as loose, but obviously it is still a little bit loose, and these guys are struggling with it. That first caution, kind of a freak accident. You know, you don't typically see that, so I think we'll get it cleaned up and greened up here for the rest of the race, hopefully. Knock on wood.
So says the great Christian Snyder. We'll go green the whole rest of the way. Sure, why not? Patton still in the lead, doing a terrific job so far. Out of Merrimack, New Hampshire. And then second place for Vincent Loria. Timothy Harper still hanging on in third. Brian Smith in fourth. And Andrew Cootie, your top 5 at the moment. Brian Smith having gained 8 spots since the start. So real mover and shaker. Right back there in 6th place, you've got Ryan Patty for the Detached House of Speed. And he's been bringing the heat already. 8 spots gained as well. A couple other big gainers in the field. Justin Bissonette back here in 10th place. He's gained 8 spots. And Mike Jennings, one of our drivers who, the driver who's actually responsible for tonight's sponsor for the Lymphoma 151. And he's gained 8 spots as well. So always great to see some of these drivers who, and there you can see on his car itself, the Lymphoma Research Foundation, and of course, join the team, find a cure. I'm sure he'll mention that during our interview with him a little bit later on, but of course, feel free to check out the Lymphoma Research Foundation, find out so much more information about lymphoma cancer and what can be done to donate and find out how to help loved ones as well that are suffering with it. All of that can be found at the Lymphoma Research Foundation website. And again, we look forward to talking with Michael Jennings a little bit later on here. But Christian, this has been there's been a lot of yellow cloth in the air so far in this one. What is your strategy when they start out like this? You just got to shake it off and get ready to go green long run?
Yeah, I think you got to expect that here as you come to the restart. You just got to expect a green flag run and just be ready and, keep calm. These guys are getting aggressive. As you see, the 9 jumps 3 wide before the start-finish line. That is not staying calm, I tell you that. He is going for 4th place right here.
Andrew Cootie going for 4th place. So we've got one around already. And that's Sean
off the
Purcell.
Bumper of Harper.
No, I take it back. That's trying to find out who exactly that is.
I couldn't see the number
as
he got.
Brian Smith, who got turned around.
It might
there.
be, yeah. The 78.
Yeah.
It is.
So let's go back and take a look at this one. This is what we do the most of here on VirtualRacing.Network, reviewing replays of incidents. Here's the 78 coming down, and it looks like Harper making contact with another one. This time, I don't think he had anything to do with that. 78 kind of coming down in the corner, and the 12 just sort of running the middle groove there. What do you think about the grooves here and the painted lines on the asphalt? Is that something that you've got to stay in your lane, so to speak, and until the end of the corner, or are you free to move around in the corner?
Well, typically you're free to move around in the corner unless there's a guy underneath you. Then you're not quite able to to move around like that, because the line he was running is the typical thing you want to do. You want to go up into the outside lane and then cut down so that you keep off the wall on exit. But Tim Harper was already there, so he didn't have that room there. And that's an unfortunate end for Brian Smith probably, because that is a hard lick into the wall engine first, so he's probably going to be down on RPMs here. But yeah, this track very unique. Me personally, I'm not a fan, but a lot of people like it for the different grooves. And the problem with different grooves is sometimes you run into people.
Well, indeed, a nice wide racetrack, but deceptively wide, as there's obviously only so much room for the racing groove, and everybody wants to be on the fast line. So Scott Patton continues to lead here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Vincent Laria in 2nd. Timothy Harper holding strong in 3rd. Anthony Cootie in 4th. And Ryan Patty in 5th right now. So Patty now up 9 positions. We look back at Brandon Cawley. He's making his way through the field as well. Currently up into 11th spot. Right now, 14 positions gained for Cawley. And I think that's what we're bound to see here. And here's Jamie Lee Dunning. I think we were both surprised that Jamie Lee did not get in a great qualifying effort to start this one out. Coming forward 10 positions now into 16th. So a number of these drivers not having great qualifying efforts, and as a result, needing to really work their way forward. We're going to take a quick break here on VirtualRacing.Network. Don't you go anywhere. We're going to be right back with lots more flag racing action. Hopefully it's green flag racing action. We'll be right back. welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network. We are green once again. Up at the front, it's Scott Patton, who's still in the lead. No change there. Vincent Loria in second place and Timothy Harper in third, but a little bit more action happening a little bit further back. This side-by-side battle here for, this is 8th place. Justin Bissonette just ahead for Collar City Racing. And Kevin Gunther for the Detached House of Racing. Brad Slagle as well in this three-way battle here for 8th place. There comes Brad Slagle trying to challenge for that spot.
Yeah, a little technical difficulty here. We have the "we'll be right back" still on the screen, but we are in fact back. And Brad Slagle working through turn 3 and 4 here. You're going to see him work the outside, and just like I said with I believe it was the 78, you want to see him come down the track, but again, almost the contact there. The 11 car coming underneath him.
So the 11 car dives underneath, and now the 4 car dives underneath as well. So a couple of different drivers trying to make their way forward. Vincent Loria up in front, though, this last time by in the number 67, setting the fastest lap of the race so far. But we've got another yellow. It's a few cars that are involved. I think it was right where we were looking till I changed it. Brandon Colley in that 11 just getting the raw end of that deal. With, I think, Slagle involved as well. So, once again, Christian, guess what we're going to do? We're going to jump back. We're going to take a look at a replay and see if we can figure out exactly what happened here. This is Slagle and Colley. And I think
looks like the 4 was involved as well.
It does look like the 4 part of this, kind of slamming on the brakes there. And I guess the 4 managed to get away before we could get the camera there, but definitely these 3 having an incident.
The 052, I don't think he was going to make the corner even if that wreck didn't happen. It looked like he was a dart without feathers to the outside wall there. Watch how far he drives into this corner. As we're on board with the 4 here, you won't see it from this angle, but the 052 just piles in. It was like he wasn't making the corner either way. That was strange.
Well, why not? We got plenty of time. Let's ride on board with the 052.
Yeah, look how far he drove in. There's just no way.
That's a good question, Slagle. I mean, it's possible he saw it unfolding in front, and that was just enough to for him to lose his focus heading into the corner, kind of forgot where his braking point was. But I'm just trying to give the benefit of the doubt as to why you would suddenly not brake for the corner. But either way, more of this yellow flag action. And, the one good news about it, Christian, is that eventually we'll just be out of cars. They'll just be all gone, and that'll be the end of that. Whoever ends up in the top 3 positions, that'll be your final running order, and that'll be how it ends up. No, I'm just kidding. So it'll be very interesting to see what does happen here as we go forward. A lot of, you know how this goes. I mean, this happens in official racing, it happens in league racing. There's a lot of nerves, a lot of drivers trying to come forward. This is a full field, and a lot of this stuff does get sorted out in the first few cautions, and then you wouldn't be surprised to see very long green flag stints following that. But it has been a few cautions thus far here for the Icon Cup Series second ever event. And Scott Patton still holding on to that lead. Vincent Loria had just set the fastest lap of the race in second place. Timothy Harper holding on to third, and Andrew Cootie in fourth. Ryan Patty in fifth. Ronnie Norman for the Ronnie Norman fan club, should you be out there in YouTube land. Oh, there he is, Steven Dombrowski. How's it going, my friend? And you say hoping for a good, clean race tonight. Well,
he jinxed it.
He did. It's all his fault, but then again, if his guy Ronnie Norman ends up winning, I think we'll certainly understand what happened there. Hey, if you're watching right now, we appreciate it out there, YouTube land. And we're about set for some great green flag action coming up. If you're not already a subscriber, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You'll want to see all the great NASCAR Cup action as well as truck action. We don't have another truck race coming up tomorrow night, but we will shortly on Monday nights for the NORA Truck Series, as well as, of course, we have not only the Icon Cup Series and NASCAR Next Gen Series here on Sunday nights, but we also on Tuesday nights have the NORA Cup Series. You don't want to miss any of that action, so we appreciate you joining us here and letting us know how you're doing. Let us know who you're rooting on and which favorite team is, which favorite driver is. And obviously, we got the only NASCAR racing going on this weekend because the rain has delayed the other race till tomorrow. But Scott Patton jumping back out to that lead. Vincent Laria right now trying to challenge for second, and Timothy Harper still holding on to third, but this is real tight at the front of this. You see him moving around in the back, still trying to figure out who is going to charge forward. And now we've got Loria diving to the inside on Patton. This is for the lead of the race on lap number 27.
Yeah, we saw Vincent Loria have a good run at Atlanta. Now goes for the lead here on Patton. But with these guys being side by side, now Harper has to decide which lane he's going to go with. He's going to go to the bottom, and he might also get by Patton here as well, going down the backstretch. We'll have to see. As now Patton with a good run on Loria, and he'll keep the lead here. Oh, but he drifted way too high there, and now well, maybe not. he found something. I tell you what, that outside's working.
I mean, it's not always that the outside line works as well here at New Hampshire, but if you can keep that inside driver pinned down a little bit, you can get a little bit of that traction available to you out there in the outside. Still keeping it kind of the middle groove on the track. Still trading positions back and forth. This is Patton and Laria trading positions for the top spot in the race, but you see just behind Andrew Cootie and Ryan Patty challenging each other also for that position as well. Back up front, Loria taking that position. He's going to try the old slide job. Not enough room to do it. Tim Harper sticking the nose of that Harper Motorsports machine up there as well. He's going to try to challenge for second place. They make a little bit of contact headed into 3, Christian.
Yeah, good run there for Vincent Loria. He tried the slide job, didn't work, but it was enough to get Patton to lift off the throttle and let Vincent Loria in front of him. And now Tim Harper side by side for second, and he's got to be careful there. That Patton guy, he's not happy he lost the lead, so he's going to try to get it back. And Harper, he's trying to get up there to the front as well. As you see, we're on board here with Andrew Cootie. A little bit of a weird line out of the corner there, trying to get some air to the nose. That's all he's doing there. He's running that bottom lane and making it work, but we did see the top lane come in already. As now Tim Harper looking again underneath for second place. Let's see if he's able to get it in this corner. Wow, Cootie drives real deep into the corner.
He kind of had to back it up mid-corner to get a hold on that thing, but I kind of thought he was just going to go right around everybody on the outside. Looked like one heck of an entry into the corner. Not sure how he could take so much speed, but I guess when you make the lower entry line, you've got to take a little bit more brake to hold yourself to that lower entry. And so these drivers swapping back and forth on who's going to go the low line, who's going to go the high line. There you see a little bit further back, that's Bissonette, Justin Bissonette racing with Brennan Gregg for position. Excuse me, that's with Cody Height, who has recovered and is now racing with Bissonette. That is for 7th position. As we watch on here, these drivers, Bissonette up 11 positions. Height, of course, having that trouble early on and dropping back 2 positions. And look back up in front, though. It is Loria. Now that he's gotten around Patton, he's able to open up a small gap, about 5 to 6 car lengths. Patton now has Harper just behind, who's trying the inside, but I think kind of that middle groove here on the track right now at least seems to be the right line.
Yeah, right now the middle working out, but Tim Harper there off the corner got real sideways, had to chase it down the track. He's lucky he was able to keep that thing straight.
Indeed. And there, whoa! You see Scott Patton
trouble.
do exactly the same thing, and that's going to allow Tim Harper to get by. Patton had exactly the same problem. He got very loose coming off the corner. Are these guys just burning off the right rears? What's happening out here?
Yeah, I mean, they said that they adjusted the setup to make it not as loose, but you can clearly see people still struggling with looseness.
So already we're seeing some drivers getting loose and having some difficulty here at Loudon, New Hampshire. We're just now 36 laps into this one. Of course, we're going to be looking at 50 laps here in this first stage tonight. We look on as Vincent Loria is out there in the lead, but a little bit further back. Still some battling going on as it's kind of settled down in second and third spot at the moment, but this is, Patton now has his hands completely filled with Ryan Patty.
Yeah, he's going to have his hands full for quite a few laps here. After that contact, he's going to probably have a little bit of damage, and he's just going to fall like a rock through the field, and he's got to try to defend as many positions as he can before this caution comes out for the stage.
Ryan Patty racing side by side with Patton. So Patton just trying to hang on and survive till the end of the stage. He'll be able to come in and get some tires and fuel and reset. Take what he learned off of the first stage and try and do better in the second stage. But Tim Harper goes around and he collects a little bit of I believe it was Andrew Cody as he came through the corner.
Yeah,
Harper,
I'm going to be interested to see if maybe he had help going around or if he just got loose there. We'll have to check that out.
Well,
that was an odd position to get loose in.
It is indeed, but as you mentioned just a few laps earlier, it was Harper who was getting loose coming off of the corner. I wonder if that same corner on the car causing a problem coming through the corner. We'll just make sure that he doesn't have any help. But, yeah, he's certainly well away from anyone else coming through the corner. I think this was an earlier incident. Let's take a look here a little bit later.
Yeah,
here we go. And he does.
Oh, he did have help.
Yes, he does indeed, and he gets a second love tap just for good measure. As unfortunately,
remember we saw earlier that Cootie was driving real deep into the corner, and right there, he drove a little too deep and gets into the back of Harper here. And Harper's been involved in, I think, all but one caution so far, so he is not having a good night.
Well, he certainly got quite the hip check from Cootie there, who continues his hockey player style of racing.
I think we need a penalty box out here.
Either that or they're going to be hopping out of their cars and having some fisticuffs right out there on the track.
Drop the gloves.
Yep. Oh, my goodness. Some of these drivers just really, really, really miss hockey, I think. Tim Harper, though, yeah, coming in, getting the damage on this car fixed, but I tell you what, that front splitter is just destroyed there. Front nose. Yeah,
this isn't too much of an aero track though, so he might be okay. As you can see, the crew really working hard. They're beating the bumper back into shape here. That was cool to see that the bumper actually kind of reshaped itself there. He's going to get back going as he almost makes contact with I believe that was Brian in the 78.
Indeed. Always got to be careful and aware where the other drivers are, even on pit road. But there's been a lot of beating and banging out here in Loudon, New Hampshire. We're going to take a momentary break here at VirtualRacing.Network. Just looking over here at YouTube. Great to have you joining us, Vater Racing. Let's go, Cody. Best of luck, drivers. And Morgan Paviel. Oh, thank you so much, dear, for checking in with us. And much love to you. Steven Dombrowski, virtual boxing, awesome idea. Well, may come down to that, Steven. Stay tuned here on VirtualRacing.Network. We'll be right back. And we are back under green here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And Brendan Gregg is up here now racing Justin Bissonnette for position. This is for third place on the track. Ryan Patty and Vincent Loria just in front. Side by side, Bissonnette and Gregg. And just behind that's Ronnie Norman and Jacob Smith racing side by side as well. As it looks like it's momentarily sorted itself out with Bissonnette moving ahead of Gregg. And then just behind, that's Ronnie Norman and Jacob Smith racing side by side. As Norman now tucks back in behind Smith. Now he's going to take another look on the inside.
Yeah, Norman, not a fan of this track, but he's making it work right now as he's about to get into fifth as we got a caution.
We do now have another caution. And
this might be the stage now at this point.
Well, it's 44 laps in, but it's Tim Harper having another issue.
Man.
Let's take another look.
He just needed another caution to get the damage fixed. That's all. So
It looked like he got up on another car. Let's.
I think he got a little help, but this is going to be beneficial. I think. Oh, yeah, he just overdrove the corner and gets sideways, but. The good news is he can now fix the rest of his front bumper and get that sorted out.
Well, the 052 kind of checked up in front. Let's see if I can back it up a little bit more so you can see it. A lot of problems with getting into the corner, differing braking points for these drivers coming into the corner, and I think that really causing the biggest issue. This is Tim coming in and just kind of right into the back of the 052, and that's what happened. If you remember on the first lap, driver coming down the track and just kind of sort of parking in the apex compared to where Tim wanted to be.
Yeah, I think this is a product of people having different rigs as well as different brake biases set. Myself, I have like a 10-year-old G27 racing wheel, so the brakes aren't the greatest. And some of these guys have direct drives and nice fancy pedals and are able to brake a lot better than people that may be on cheaper systems. So it's always, whenever it's a heavy braking track, you see a lot of problems with people getting onto the brakes more than you expect or less than you expect and causing trouble.
Indeed.
Interesting paint scheme there. Are you aware of who that is? I'm not sure.
Well, we've got an alien on the back. We've got what looks like a wrestler on the side. I can't tell.
Could be Mortal Kombat. I'm not sure.
It's Hanover Fist. I mean,
well,
perhaps that's what he looks like in real life.
Maybe. We're not sure.
We'll have to.
That's
ask
what makes
him
this
at some
fun.
Point. It does make it fun. It's always a guessing game, and you're in the job of making liveries. I would have thought you would have heard through the grapevine who that was, but we'll do that digging here soon enough. I know he's good friends with the admin of the Icon Cup Series, Ryan Patty. So I think we may have. I mean, are we gonna come back green for like 2 laps? I think we'll come back green, and then it will be the end of stage number 1. So
we'll see another caution.
Yeah, and we'll see that caution for that. And of course, you want to stay tuned because we'll be momentarily having a discussion with tonight's race sponsor, Mike Jennings, and get a chance to find out from him all about lymphoma and what the cause was for deciding to sponsor tonight's race and some of the interesting facts and things about lymphoma. But as we get going back to green here on the very next lap, it's going to be Vincent Loria. Now, Loria took the lead with authority not that many laps ago, began to put a gap on the rest of the field. And sitting in second place is Ryan Patty. And, Ryan was so close to victory last week. He was up there leading most of the early laps of the race and then had a little bit of misfortune himself. So I think he's trying to reclaim a little bit of what he didn't get to capture last week in our first race of the season.
Yeah, he's working pretty well through New Hampshire. He might be a guy that actually likes this track. I forget if we talked to him after the race if he liked New Hampshire or not, but I know we talked to him last week. He's doing good out here.
Well, I think the point is it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. You got to race it. It's on the schedule. And here he is tonight. He's currently in the second spot. And he's now got a chance at the lead. But Loria says, I'm first to the line. No problems for him, but they're still racing hot and heavy back here for third spot. This is Justin Bissonette getting ahead into that third spot with Jacob Smith behind.
Oh, no, trouble. I think that was Cody into the wall.
And it is, in fact, Cody in the wall, but he straightens it back out. We're back underway. You see lots of drivers moving around there, some 2 wide and 3 wide, trying to get it back together. Back at the front, racing it out for third spot. That's Bissonette and Smith. Bissonette drives the car across the track. He does try to protect, and now that's going to force Smith to try to make that pass on the outside. The end of this lap will be the end of stage number 1. And I think this is all but done and dusted for the end of this first stage for Loria and Patty. But looking back here at Smith and Bissonette, who will take third spot for this first stage? As Brennan Gregg now throws himself into it, but it is in fact Jacob Smith who manages to take third spot. Justin Bissonette going to settle for that fourth spot, and Brennan Gregg back here in fifth. So with that, we're going to take just a moment. We're going to be right back with Michael Jennings and be able to find out lots more about tonight's race sponsor. Stay tuned. And welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network, and we're so proud to be joined by tonight's race sponsor. It's Mike Jennings, and of course tonight, Michael, this race is all about lymphoma and the Research Foundation. What would you like to tell us about tonight's race and who it's named in honor for?
Yeah, thanks for getting me up here today, guys. And this is in honor of my dad, Mike Jennings, passed away a couple years ago to central nervous system lymphoma. So crazy part about lymphoma, there's actually about 80 or so different variants of lymphomas between non-Hodgkin's, Hodgkin's, yeah, every 7 minutes someone is diagnosed with lymphoma. So it's a pretty common cancer to be out there. But Lymphoma Research Foundation does a great work on working not only on just the two primary lymphomas we hear about, but doing a lot of research on those other ones. They partner with a lot of really great organizations to do that, and they helped extend my dad's life for quite some time after we thought some stuff was pretty much given up or lost. So great organization, like I said, and appreciate you guys giving me the time.
Absolutely, our pleasure. And of course, we want to see out there winning with that number 16 with the Lymphoma Research Foundation on there. But great organization to bring to everybody's minds and awareness. And good luck with the rest of your race out there tonight, my friend.
Appreciate it.
So that is Mike Jennings. He's got to get back to racing But what an amazing thing to bring to all of us out here, and hopefully I can find the right place for him to go back to here in... See if we can get him back in the correct room before too long. But what an amazing sponsor to bring to all of our attention. And, of course, you know, what a fantastic way to get our Icon Cup series going here in just the second race, to be able to bring a great awareness sponsor in. Certainly, you want to head over to the Lymphoma Research Foundation and get much more information, especially if you have a loved one who is dealing with any of those symptoms or has been diagnosed with that. And, of course, please make your donation today. It's only $1. It's a couple of dollars. Whatever you can do to help to fight lymphoma and spread the word and get more money into the research, it's greatly appreciated. So, Christian, we're back under green here at New Hampshire, and we've got a great battle here between Brandon Cawley and Cody Height for second place. Blade Timmons, in the meanwhile, has sneaked up to the top spot.
Yeah, Harper Motorsports having a good run here with these two cars. You know, Harper himself not having a good run. As we see Cody Height drift up the track, he has to get off the throttle there. That was close there for Cody.
Bit of a moment for Cody Height once again. It's not been an easy go for him. He's had a fast car here tonight, but having issues getting it to stay in one spot, and he's back. We're back with him rolling once again. The number 9 of Andrew Cody now trying to dive underneath as Cody gets up into the wall. So I thought it wasn't that serious, but Cody Height having a big issue there, up into the wall, and I guess that was enough to bring out the yellow, because I don't see anybody else who is currently stopped or having a problem. Not sure exactly what the cause of that one was, but we'll take a look here. It could have been Cody Height just a moment ago. Go back to our yellow flag that came out. This was just a moment ago, and we take a look as Cody Height is on the outside, coming through the corner, up into the wall. Really doesn't seem like that should be what caused the caution.
No, I don't think it is, but if we look behind him, maybe we could see something, or at least someone in the back of the field, and look behind them.
I really don't see anybody. I mean, let's look from the yellow flag. Maybe if we look at Robert Lacavara here, do we see anybody else having an issue? I do see some
there's
smoke.
Someone on the inside. It's a yellow car. That's the 227 and the 78 might be, but it was definitely the 227 that was way down on the track.
Okay, well,
almost infield course.
We will check that out. Sometimes our software is really great about telling us people who have trouble. Sometimes we just don't know. There it is.
Oh, there it is. Oh. That's the caution.
56.
Yeah, 56 gets
Cody
around
Neal
sideways.
Issue, and then the 227 spins. So the 56 having an issue, and then the 227 getting caught up in it. So we watch here.
Just going to overdrive the corner. We've been saying it. These brakes, he overdrives it, gets into the side of the 4, and goes around.
Now, just as that happens, then the 227 spins.
He was just testing out the road course down there. That's all.
Well, and that triggered the caution, I guess, because he came down onto the apron onto pit road and more or less came to a stop.
That is a weird place to get loose, but you can see he's heading headfirst toward the tire barriers. He's able to get it righted. We saw, I think it was Brad Keselowski hit those type of tire barriers at Indy, and they are unforgiving. I can tell you that.
Well, with that one, of course, it does go caution, but it's kind of weird. He didn't come to a full stop or anything. iRacing is just so bizarre with when it chooses to show caution. Sometimes it's very predictable, but at certain tracks, I mean, cars can get a little loose to the inside or be on the apron, and the leaders weren't even close to coming around.
Right.
The car was not stopped, and yet iRacing decides to throw the caution, unless it was an admin thrown caution, which I don't think it was. It could be.
But, iRacing sometimes, there could be a 7-car pileup and iRacing is blind and doesn't throw the caution, but will throw the caution if a car just gets a little bit sideways. So kind of, basically NASCAR in real life.
It is so bizarre and very difficult to figure out exactly why that takes place, but like you said, I mean, I've seen multiple, even during our NORA broadcasts, I can't remember the exact track, but we've seen many cars taken out in the middle of the pack, in the back of the pack, and no caution thrown. And even with leaders coming around, still no caution thrown. And here, way more preventative than that. So, I guess you just never know, and you got to roll with the punches. It's the same for everybody throughout the field. And right now, Blade Timmons enjoying being up there in the lead in his number 28 Harper Motorsports machine. Brandon Cawley going to be starting alongside as we do a double file restart. Cawley in second, and just behind in third, it's Jamie Lee Dunning who moves into that third spot. Andrew Cody in the fourth spot, now on the outside, going to challenge for third. You got side by side just behind between Height and Patton, who's managed to recover it as well. There's Patty. Patty gets into possibly...
Oh, man.
I didn't see if he did get into him or not, but several cars going around. Still having trouble. Multiple cars in the back here. That's Kevin Gunther. And I believe Cody Eldred got a piece of that one. And Cameron King going through the road course. So, it's time to review some replays again. For those of you that love this activity, this is what we're doing a lot of tonight. Yellow flag. Let's see if we can tell exactly where something went wrong. And I know that Patty was just coming up to this. So let's see if we can tell if they make contact just in front. At least I believe it was Patty. There, Patty gets sideways.
Yeah, he's trying to keep it off the wall, gets a little sideways, and then kind of net codes into, can't see what the number is, but net codes into him and causes that wreck there. So iRacing, again, sometimes they throw cautions and sometimes they just flat out cause wrecks.
So let's see if we can tell exactly. I believe it was Cody. It could be Cody Neal that was caught up in that one.
Yeah, I couldn't see the number of who exactly got turned, but I think Cody Neal's in the Napa car. He wasn't quite involved, so we'll have to see here.
So we're trying to get this one queued up here and be able to see.
Oh, it's exactly. The 31. I believe that's the 31 car.
Well, it does say that Cody Neal did have a moment going off track, and I believe it was maybe the 20, I want to say the 28 car, a little difficult to see, but that would have been Blade Timmons, so I don't think that's who it was. Maybe it was
that's Ronnie Norman right there in front of him.
Kevin Gunther?
Yeah, the 31, Kevin Gunther is around. That's the one who it was.
Yeah, the 31,
hard
there you go.
There.
So, now that we've identified that, let's take a look here at Gunther and see exactly what took place when the yellow flag came out. So you see, there's Patty on the outside, just makes contact with him. It looks like Patty got loose, and wow, he made a contact with so many cars coming through that mess.
Somehow not that much damage, though. The front bumper's still attached, so not too bad.
I mean, considering everything, yeah, you're right. Not that bad. I mean,
I don't think Old Bay seasoning is going to fix that front bumper though.
I love it. You look at left front is absolutely trashed, and you're like, it's not that bad.
It's not. Just throw some Old Bay on it. It'll be better.
Exactly. Get out the old bear bond, and we're good to go. Oh, get out some duct tape, and we are all set here at Loudon, New Hampshire. And this is good old-fashioned Loudon racing. This is what we're used to seeing here at this mild track, wide track with low banking and deceptively wide corners, but only one really great racing groove here to use, and drivers try to share it through the corners. But
I tell you what, Trevor, that 20 to go segment, I might have to sponsor something else. I might have to sponsor these cautions.
Exactly.
Get my name out there even more. My goodness.
Every caution brought to you by Snyder Graphics. Oh,
People
my goodness.
might not like that then. Every time there's a caution, they'll blame me. Oh, man.
Of course, tonight's Lymphoma 151 brought to you by Mike Jennings. We just heard from him. Great sponsor. And if you are looking to sponsor us here for the Icon Cup Series, we'd love to have you with us. Be able to raise some awareness for your favorite charity and or business. Make sure to send us a message. There's a link down in the description. Of course, you can contact myself, Trevor Greenfield, and or Ryan Patty. And our next caution.
There we go.
Sponsored by Snyder Graphics. This one I still looking to figure out. It's Justin Bissonnette involved in this one. All the way at the back. So let's see if we can figure out what happened here. As he was just racing for the top positions in the race, he just gets loose.
Yeah, just gets sideways there and collects, I believe that was Brian in the 78 there a little bit, but don't see why there needed to be a caution. iRacing just they're having a yellow night,
It's totally at the back of the field, and the leaders are nowhere near this. But the drivers don't even go around. They didn't even park on the track. But apparently, Loud New Hampshire is the most trigger-happy race control that iRacing has right now. So, as a result, we all get to sit through some extra yellows. But, why don't we talk about some of this racing here? And let's talk about these liveries. Why not, Christian? Since you're here, you design these liveries.
Some of them.
Of course, and certainly for Full Send when Full Send has a driver in the field. But how much work does it take to do one of these liveries from scratch? How long? Oh. And I know that's asking how long is a short wave? But really, if somebody comes to you, they say, okay, I've got a sponsor. I want to put Lymphoma Research Foundation onto a car, and I want a basic color scheme. What's your average work time to put together, a fairly basic car livery?
Well, the basic scheme, it usually takes anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour. But if you go complex, then it's going to be multiple hours of work. And a lot of these drivers have those like metallic numbers and metallic schemes, so that's even more work. So sometimes it can be up to like 5 hours, but sometimes it can be as quick as 30 minutes. So, message somebody 30 minutes before a race. They might be able to get it done, and I might be able to. So hit me up if you need a paint scheme.
Well, we look at a paint scheme like Timmons, and he's got 4-color graphics on here, and of course, a sponsor going down the side. But as you said, some of these drivers, they do elect for something a little bit more complicated. We look at Collie back here. He's got some custom stripes, a lot of different colors going on, and as you said, with the spec maps and all of that. And many sponsors. Custom job could take a couple of hours. You might not see a return from that artist in a couple of days, but certainly over at Snyder Graphics, you're able to pretty much handle any sort of request they might have.
Yeah, pretty much any request. Even replicating your favorite scheme that's on track. I'm typically good at that. But we are back green here. Played Timmons in that Bush Light scheme there, going out in the lead. And that second car you were talking about, his paint scheme, that 11. I don't know if you recognize it, but Dale Earnhardt Sr. Drove that in the All-Star race in 2000. So that's the paint scheme that he has on that car. That's one of my favorite paint schemes of all time, honestly.
That is some great recollection from Christian Snyder right there. Appreciate you bringing that to my attention. And no, I did not recall that, but that is a beautiful car for certain. And what a cool way to bring that back out. Of course, he would have Earnhardt, I'm sure, probably won here at Loudon back in the day. And quite a few of those legends taking victory here. This track's been around for quite a long time. But we've got basically a three-way battle here, at least at the beginning of this segment, between Timmins, Colley, and Cootie, as they are staying very, very close to one another. I'm not seeing Timmins able to quite open up a gap. Here comes Cootie. I think he may have a lunge at Colley here before too long. Or a hip check. Just depends on...
might be another hip check here. He gets so deep into that corner, and that's where it starts getting risky. Whenever you're driving so deep into the corner, car in front might not might be in your way, and you might just have to move them.
Well, we were looking a little bit further back because Smith just had a big problem. Now we're 3 wide through the corner. This is back for 9th position, and that's Scott Patton and Vincent Loria. Smith still having trouble and drifting back in the field. This is for 3rd place, though. Here comes Jamie Lee Dunning, and this is now a 4-way battle for that 3rd spot on the track as Cootie has managed to escape off the front, but Dunning now racing side by side with Colley onto the backstretch. And then there's Ryan Patty just behind, poking his nose in there as well.
Yeah, Ryan Patty's having a good run. We saw maybe a little bit of damage on his front bumper. Not sure where that came from, but wow. Jamie Lee Dunning almost into the inside wall there. He went really low, as now Cody Hite going to work around the outside.
You know, I do wonder if we go on board here with Dunning, are we going to hear... it must just be that he's trying to get a mega run off of the corner, and he can't predict that overspin is going to happen with his right rear. He's trying to drive it out. He's trying to let it ride out the corner just because he does not want to have that car come around again. These cars are... I've got to say... These next-gen Cup cars are a bit like prima donnas. You really can... they are very finicky with how you get them through the corner.
Yeah, that's a good description for these cars. Once they get loose, they're a handful. So, that's. I don't think I could have done it better there.
Well, certainly... This is getting to be a close race up here at the front, but we've just seen it so many times when these cars, when they get to be a handful like this, when they're dancing on that knife edge, they are anything but forgiving. There's a lot of cars out there that are very forgiving throughout the run, as you see Colley really having the same issue, getting very loose coming off of the corner. Diving down to the inside is now Cody Hite. Gets by on the outside. Patty able to escape off into the distance in 3rd. And again, this is such a tight battle here for the top spot. Here goes Cody to the outside. Is he going to try to make the pass on the outside, or is he just trying to carry that entry speed and trying to let it dissipate through the corner? Is Cody going to try the pass on the inside? He does. Here comes Cody down to the inside into turn number 1.
I don't know if that's going to work here. He's making it work on the outside. Blade Timmons holding him off. Cootie, though, with that deep entry, he might be able to slide job him here in turn 3. We'll see. Blade drives it in deep. He's going to stay on the outside here, side by side for the lead coming out of turn 4 here.
As they come down the front stretch towards turn 1, we're going to see whether or not Cootie has the lead headed in through turn 1 and whether he's going to be able to keep it. It looks like Timmons going to be able to charge back on the outside.
Our drone camera was having a little bit of tough time trying to catch up to them there, but they are side by side still for an entire lap here. They have been side by side. Blade Timmons on the outside, making it work. Cootie, though. Oh, no.
Timmons
He saved it.
had a little bit of, I think Cootie came up a little bit. Timmons came down. And, of course, this was exactly what Ryan Patty wanted to see. It was just so happy to see them stay side by side and be able to catch his number 30 machine for DeWalt up. Oh, and
trouble.
we've got, is that Dunning?
Oh. Oh, no. I'm not sure why, but he got into the wall and then just jammed on the brakes, and everybody behind him gets collected. Is that the 11 car?
Well, it's Patton, certainly, and it's Colley.
Yeah, Brandon Colley. He gets into the wall, and then for some reason, whenever he gets it straightened back up, he just jams on the brakes.
Oh!
Oh, no! Ah!
And he gets loose trying to get it going again, and he wipes out Brian Smith.
Oh, if I'm Brian Smith, I am furious right now.
Well,
wow.
Let's go back to the beginning of this one. As also we have a note just before this yellow flag that Patinko went off track. I don't think this is associated with the actual... No, you see him wrecking up in front, but Patinko having a moment.
Oh, 27 car.
There's
destroyed.
a really hard hit. Brennan Gregg getting caught in this one as well. Oh.
Man, he jammed on the brakes and then everybody just scattered.
Well, we're going to have to take a look at it. He's already loose there at that point.
Yeah. We'll have to ride on board to see.
I guess that's the only way to really sort this one out. Let's ride on board with Brandon Colley and Christian. See if you can figure this one out.
Well, I mean, he gets loose, but I don't know. I don't know if it was necessary to lock up the brakes there.
And he
I know I preach all the time that whenever you wreck, hold your brakes, but if you're still pointed straight, don't hold the brakes.
That's a really rough one, and it's good advice from yourself, but at the same time...
And then here, yeah, he touches the grass and just, man.
Well, that was not exactly what you want to see at this stage in the race. Numerous drivers getting involved. This was, unfortunately, from Patton's point of view, nowhere to go.
Yeah, nowhere to go. Tim Harper barely avoids it, but a big impact for the 27 car. And I think his day is over, and then obviously Brian Smith also out of it. But you can see Brian Smith nowhere near this incident. He's just cruising along. He's down the backstretch. Oh, hey, there's a caution.
He slows down. Well, he even slows down for it. He thinks, okay, well, this is done. Going to survive another one here.
All right, cool. We're going to keep going. This is great. They're sorting it out. We're going to be fine. He's still enjoying himself, having a good race. He's like, all right, and oh no.
End of race.
End of race. I laugh at it, but if you're Brian Smith, you are heated right now because that's just, man, that's not the way you want your race to end. The caution was already out, and to get taken out under caution, man.
Well, unfortunate stuff for a lot of these drivers, and what that's going to do at the front is give Cootie the lead, as Timmons has now slipped back to third under that caution. Patty is now in second place, and Bissonnette now back up in the mix with 15 positions gained. Bissonnette back in the middle of this one, so this one far from over here, Christian. We've been seeing some beating and banging. It's felt a bit like a rough boxing match to a hockey match, but that's perfect, I guess, for Andrew Cody, who carries the Boston Bruins on the front nose of that machine. Ryan Patty, he's got all of his tools out there for DeWalt, trying to...
And Blade is drunk.
And Blade, if he's not, I'm sure he wishes he were drunk at this moment just to get through this race. But Blade back underway. He's under challenge from Justin Bissonnette. who dives down to the inside, and
No.
Blade sure does wish he was drunk right now, I tell you what.
Yeah.
And we've got them all
it's
wrecking back here.
Oh, this is a big one. Cody Height involved, the 227 involved, Tim Harper involved. And now that we got a car reversing down the track, I don't think that's the way you're supposed to do it. Couldn't tell who that was. It was a bright blue car that was reversing down the track.
Maybe we should just cut to a replay from last week and just finish out this broadcast.
Man, I tell you.
This has been a caution-filled event.
Oh, it always is with this track. I don't know what it is and why drivers have such trouble here. It's why I always say just, bulldoze it. We don't need it.
Well, let's try and figure this one out as best as we can. Of course, this was just moments ago, and let's see if we can get over to Blade Timmons as soon as I can find him in our results here. But as we watch this one play out, looks like Cody Height, it doesn't look like he really took too much damage to start him into that spin, but boy, he had trouble keeping it going straight.
I'll tell you what, all 4 Harper Motorsports cars involved in that wreck.
No kidding. About like the difficult luck that they had last week. I don't know what to say about Timmons here. I mean,
He gets... I think it's, the 46, I think that is. Just kind of drives it in a little bit too deep. Slides up the track. Maybe not. Maybe Timmons comes down a little bit. That's 2 drivers fighting for the same position, but then just everybody behind trying to check up, unable to, and they start piling in, and you can see that car going backwards there. And man, this track, whenever there's a wreck, it just kind of sweeps it. I mean, we saw 2 big ones in the Xfinity Series race on Saturday. Just this track's so narrow in that corner specifically because that wall juts out at the bottom, so there's nowhere to avoid these wrecks.
And unfortunately, our title sponsor getting caught up in that one. Now he's going to continue in 6th place, but as you said, no place to go here in this one. You saw Harper get into Height, of course, teammates there, and then Jennings wearing someone else's paint on that Color City Racing machine.
That was close. How about that one?
There was almost a nose-to-nose contact there.
Whew. I tell you what, that pace truck is getting a workout today.
Absolutely. I hope
I think he's got the most laps led.
You wait for it. You wait for it.
I'm waiting. There it is.
Well, we continue to watch on here. We are under our 11th caution of the night, and we're just a little over halfway. So we could set a new record. I mean, it is possible to head to 20 cautions. That being said, Christian, we've both been part of official races that do this. I mean, that honestly,
especially this track.
This track. I mean, there's other. It just short tracks bring this out. I mean, like you go to Martinsville, the Coliseum races. A lot of these tracks that are short tracks, Bristol, tend to have this sort of thing happen where it's just too small for making aggressive moves or for trying to race extremely hard without trying to give a little bit. And I think that's the key is you really do have to create some room for your competition. I know it's easier said than done from up here in the booth, but as we see this continue to play out, as I said, eventually we just won't have any cars left to run. And then that'll be the end of the broadcast. Back underway, it's Andrew Cootie in first, Ryan Patty in second, and third is Vincent Laria. Right now, the battle on behind, except we're going to have another caution, I'm sure. There we go.
Don't think it needed to be a caution, but iRacing just loves to make us sit and wait through these cautions.
I wonder if there's a way they can disable cautions
You
administratively.
know, I was thinking that. I was like, maybe we need administrator cautions only for the rest of this one, because iRacing is just throwing it at this point for fun. I tell you, as he gets loose, he doesn't even go the whole way around.
Cody Neal doesn't even go all the way around, gets it back onto the track, keeps it going, and someone up there is getting paid by the caution that they throw. I don't know what's in their contract. But
Barney the Flagman just getting a heck of a bonus for this one, I tell you.
Exactly, and of course, let's check out Barney. How's he doing up there? He's looking angry. he's it almost looks like he's angrily throwing that yellow flag at those drivers. He's seen better races than this. I know that in terms of keeping it clean, but Barney just holding that flag up in the air at this point, kind of a salute, or perhaps a sign of protest. But Barney the Flag Man doing a good job of waving the caution flag for all of these drivers. And once again, got to give a big shout out to all of these folks who turned out here for this virtual Icon Cup Series race of just packing these grandstands. Yet another sold out race here. The Nora Cup Series selling out every single race, and now 2 races in a row, the Icon Cup Series is sold out the racetrack. We do appreciate everybody joining us in YouTube land as well. Hey, great to have you with us. Thanks for sticking around. Margaret McDodd says, yay, Michael. And yes, indeed, Michael's surviving there. Able to stick around in 6th place. So hopefully damage not too bad for Mike Jennings as he continues around the racetrack. So
yeah, the Ronnie Norman fan club also in attendance. We thank you every week for joining.
Certainly, Stephen Dombrowski, big part of these. He always makes up at least a quarter of the messages that we get through the YouTube chat, and we it's always appreciated with his great commentary as well. He's even, when we couldn't figure some stuff out, he came through in a pinch with some of the necessary background information that we needed to do some proper coverage. And always
and
there.
I think actually sponsors Ronnie's car, or did. I think it was him, or maybe it was another friend of Ronnie's. But they've been sponsoring his car throughout the season. As we're going to get underway here, Andrew Cootie on the gas here for the restart.
On the gas is Cootie. For CCH, that's CCH Motorsports, and Detach House of Speed for Ryan Patty just behind. Vincent Loria in 3rd, and we've got another one that's almost going around. I believe that was Jacob Smith moments ago.
Yeah, a little bit loose there for Jacob, but he's able to keep it underneath him. And now Mike Jennings behind him trying to take advantage of that, but the 4 able to gap him a little bit. And everybody trying to catch Cootie.
Well, a look at the weather out there, and still 100 degrees on the track and about 8 miles per hour that breeze. But now that gap is closing down up in front. I don't know. Patty may have something to say about it before long, but
I think that one was way back in the back of the field. I don't know who that was, but
that was,
it was for 20th.
That's for Robert Lacavara. And I'm still trying to, there is his car. Robert having a moment. And let's take a look at what brought out this caution. Tim Harper, a little bit of net code, and around goes Lacavara. And the race control gets paid another $1,000 in his contract for throwing another yellow. Lacavara continues.
Harper at this point has to be just questioning why everybody's turning down on him and wrecking himself off of him. He's been involved in, I think, 5 or 6 of our 14 cautions.
And Tim Tim is just such a proud guy who comes out. He tries everything he can each and every race to put that car into victory lane. I mean, he's not doing necessarily anything wrong there. He's just driving the car where it should be, and Lacavara kind of drives it down the track. Hard to say, but Harper Motorsports gives it a good shout every week on social media. If you're not already following them, make sure you head on over on Facebook. And, of course, Tim Harper is also streaming right now. I can imagine perhaps some expletives flying.
Yeah, he told me to shout out his Twitch. If you want to follow any of these drivers, some of them do stream. His is Harper50H, and that's because he has a Mustang in real life, and also drives a Mustang in Icon as well.
I thought maybe he was with law enforcement.
No, he just is obsessed with Mustangs.
Well, that's pretty cool. I'll have to see a photo of his Mustang. I used to have a Mustang myself.
I mean, he's got racing slicks on the back of that thing, so it turns out a lot of power.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think he drag races it. I forget if he still does or not, but I do know that he did some pulls with it and has gotten a few tickets, I'm sure, because that car is very loud.
All in good fun. I'm sure one day he'll look back on all of this quite fondly as the times when he had a lot of fun sim racing and playing with Mustangs and going drag racing. And sounds kind of like the dream life that we'd all love to have, Christian. But then we got to settle down with families and get rid of those things for minivans and mortgages. Here we go.
Yeah.
Andrew Cody and Ryan Patty going to be dueling for the lead of this race as we come back after our 13th caution, lucky number 13, ready to go here again at Loudon, New Hampshire. And the good news is we're almost 2/3 of the way done with this one, as Vincent Loria now's going to send it and just about wipes out Patty, and instead Loria wipes himself out.
I think that's another caution, Trevor.
It is indeed. I agree. With
Barney
that,
is going crazy.
They're just trying to make us go nuts up here in the booth.
I think so. I think it's possible.
So, Christian,
I mean, we can start interviewing people under caution.
I would say let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll bring somebody up. I'll just
pull someone randomly.
I will do that. Let's see if I can do that. We're gonna pull in. I almost pulled Christian Snyder into the booth. That doesn't.
Oh
work.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the interview, Trevor. My car's doing great out there.
Well, here we go. And Jacob Smith. Hey, this is Trevor Greenfield up here in the booth. You got me, my friend? Jacob, you got me? Okay.
I believe he is unavailable for comment.
Well, then we'll pull. Is that Cody Neal?
Yeah.
Cody Neal, this is Trevor Greenfield up here in the booth, my friend. I just decided to pull you up here randomly because we're working on the 14th caution of the night. Tell us, this has been an adventure-filled race. What do you got going on in that number 56 machine?
Oh, we need a green flag run here. We'll make it on fuel, and I think there's a couple cars in front of us that are going to have to pit if we go green. So, just hoping for that.
Well, you've been involved in a couple of incidents, but you're currently sitting in 14th place in your Toyota. What do you think getting your Napa Toyota going again and possibly being able to work your way back up into the top 10 here? Is that a possibility here tonight?
Oh, yeah. No, I like what we got going here. Had a couple mistakes earlier, but I think we can definitely get up inside the top 10.
Well, just about a third of this race left to go, so we're going to let you go and get back at it. But appreciate you joining us here under yellow, and maybe we'll be talking to you at the end of this race.
Alrighty. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. So that is Cody Neal joining us here on VirtualRacing.Network during the live caution. We appreciate these drivers checking in with us, letting us know how their race is going on. If you're sitting out there in YouTube land, you want us to interview somebody under the next Cootie could use an interview. Well, sure. We'll bring in Cootie on the next one. And, you know, I hate to say it, but Christian, our interviews under caution do
Have
sometimes...
jinx people. Yeah.
They do. They come with the price.
That's why I was thinking interviewing Ronnie. He loves whenever I interview him. You know, he tells me all the time he absolutely loves being interviewed and then wrecking right after. So he enjoys it. It's thoroughly.
Well, we interviewed Neil, and he's right behind Ronnie Norman at the moment. So we'll see whether or not that curse carries over. And just joking
We're testing
around.
the theory at this point.
Just joking around. Of course, here comes Jacob Smith down the inside of Jamie Lee Dunning. This is for position, and
he might have changed lanes before the start-finish line, which I think is against the rules in the rule book. You know, I'm kind of less familiar. And
hey, it's another caution.
Oh, not this time. No caution.
Car goes completely around, but I guess there's no caution.
Oh, well, we're going to make it a
one.
caution.
We've got cars slamming walls. Patinko into the wall. Brad Slagle, Cody Height. Unfortunately, there's Height up into the wall.
Slagle not the 56. Well. He made it through. We didn't jinx him.
Well, not yet.
Oh, well. Now we did.
Let's take a look, though, and see if we can figure this one out real quick. This is Brad Slagle coming through the mess here. Slagle just gets down on that apron and comes up and slams Cody Height, who really did not even see that one coming.
Yeah, man, that apron's a little slick with this heat, and these guys have been having trouble down there, and I think the wreck happened a little further up ahead with Evan Patinko. I think he was the one that made contact down the backstretch and was just falling back through the field and then happened to get involved in this, so we'll have to see.
You can see the 46 involved in this one, and Patinko on the outside here. He cuts back down the track trying to get into that second or that third lane, but the 46 puts it in bulldozer mode and sends the 96 around. And the hockey-like antics continue here. So, with that, we've been requested that we talk to Andrew Cody here under this caution. So I think we'll do that.
It Cody or Cootie?
Cootie.
Cootie?
Yeah,
okay.
Andrew Cootie. So
like you're catching cooties. Got it.
I'm sure he's never heard that before, Christian.
I'm sure.
Let's go ahead and see if we can get Cootie here into the booth from CCH Motorsport. And it's a long ways up from there to our booth. There it is. Hey, Andrew Cootie. This is Trevor Greenfield and Christian Snyder up here in the booth. You got us?
Yes, sir.
Hey, my friend. You're doing just swell up there running at the front of this race. You got Ryan Patty just behind trying to breathe down your neck, but you got the old Boston Bruins number 9 flinging around this track pretty good tonight.
It's fast, I tell you that for damn sure. Yeah, this race has been just like all New Hampshire races. I wasn't expecting anything really different, but yeah, it's been fun. I've had problems, you know, you get stuck in traffic and you try to get out of it, but sometimes you can't. But this time I did. I have not had much luck at New Hampshire in my life, so I'm taking this as an advantage right now. The only downside is that I am almost out of fuel. I only have about 29 laps till I'm out. Thankfully, these cautions are saving me right now, because if we get a few more, I might actually be able to make it on fuel.
Well, we're about to go back to grade. We'll let you get back to it, but hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of this race. Good luck with it, Andrew.
Thanks.
Absolutely. So that's Andrew Cootie joining us up here, chatting with us and letting us know. I think he moved himself back down into his correct room. He did.
That was impressive.
I was like, I hope I didn't lose him. Yeah, exactly. So Cootie leading it back to the green flag, and Ryan Patty, back there in second place. Now going to try to chase down Cootie, and I was going to, if we had more
Oh,
time,
Jacob Smith.
Smith driving up the track, and that allows Jamie Lee Dunning to get underneath, and now here comes Michael Jennings. Taking a look at the backside there of Jacob Smith, as Jennings has now gotten up into 5th position. So our race sponsor giving it a good run, perhaps feeling it. Getting a little bit of that Jennings mojo going, as Jacob Smith having a little bit of trouble in front of him. And perhaps we're going to see Jennings able to stay up here in the top 5. But right now, this is the story. Ryan Patty. Christian, did we or did we not talk with Cootie at this last caution?
We did. He hasn't wrecked yet. He did get into the wall a little bit, but I think we're fine. As Ryan Patty's trying to work underneath him here, he doesn't have it right now. Cootie able to make that outside work and keeps the lead. And now he's going to protect the bottom here from Ryan Patty. This is a good battle up here up front.
Well, before we got this cut off, I was going to say perhaps the best strategy is to go up there. And as we're going to get another caution.
He might have saved it.
He brought it all the way down to the inside wall, and they did not throw a caution. So it's Christopher Howell and Cody Neal. I believe it's Cody Neal who brought that one down there. I was just going to say
we did interview him.
We did. So there's that one. There's that curse has affected.
Oh, and Ronnie Norman.
Oh, did he take Ronnie?
Oh, no, he was just near him.
Just near him. No.
Oh.
Magically brought to the end of his race. Perhaps one might say a cursed end to his race. It's Cody Neal.
I don't think he cautioned. He never went side.
Oh,
right there.
There is another wreck. I'm not sure who that was. That looks like Christopher Howell, I believe. Let's see if that is Howell who had stopped there. There he is. Yes, indeed. That's him. So let's see what brought Howell's into his race. Oh, he gets involved in a three-way incident here. Let's see if we can get the chopper camera to work.
Looks like the 46 coming up behind him. Looks low. Breaks late into the corner and just sends him.
Pile drives him up the track.
You know, I think that's the third time I've seen the 46 break late into the corner and get into somebody. At what point are we going to see possible penalties come down for causing these cautions? I mean, my goodness.
I am not the right person to ask about that. I don't know that there is any provision made for live adminning. Unlike over in Nora, where usually there's somebody who's parked outside the race and taking a look onwards. But
yeah, we need Nick Gillis over here to help out, man.
Well,
he's always up there in race control for Nora. He does an excellent job, and
that was what I was gonna say. Is Gillis, does make those
maybe
calls.
Like $5 a race or something to RC over here, maybe.
Maybe $1 a race, Gillis. Be interested.
Hey, $1 is better than no money, you know?
Exactly. Well, let's take a look. This is what happened. This is Patton. He was up there racing in the front earlier and not just taking his aggression out on other drivers.
Yeah, just driving mad.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. Rule books are always different, but Nora has the thing where if you cause 2 incidents, you're parked for the rest of the race. This league doesn't have that, but maybe possibly Ryan Patty could be looking into something like that, because I'm sure he is not happy with these cautions. There's something, I think maybe Cootie pit. Cootie is no longer the leader.
Well, Cootie is now shown back here. It does show that he came in on lap 112, so yes, indeed, he did decide to pit. In fact, quite a few drivers did. We've got Cootie, Adam Ball coming into the pits. We haven't talked about Adam Ball at all tonight for Collar City Racing, but he's having a quiet night, sort of back in 18th position. Cameron King for Inspire Motorsports. He also came in under this caution. Cody Neal and Pachinko coming in as well. And I was lest I get cut off yet again from trying to make this point, I think initially Cootie's strategy, along with now Ryan Patty, who is in the lead, I mean, if at least if you're in the lead in clean air, if there's going to be this many cautions, you know, you don't have to deal with lap traffic until you get all the way around the field. So perhaps the best strategy is just to be out in front. That way you don't have to deal with coming across anybody else's wreck.
You know what all these cautions are really good for? You know, I wasn't feeling good coming into this race. These cautions are helping me a lot. I tell you that.
That's good. At least it's doing something for somebody. There's
Right.
Jamie Lee Dunning.
Jacob Smith underneath him for second. Look at this.
Jacob Smith racing side by side for second place, and
Jamie
quite a
Lee
lot
into the wall.
of racing going on through this field. There, Dunning to the
Little hip
inside. He's gonna try.
Blade Timmons coming back into this. He, if you remember, he wrecked earlier, and he's coming back, and now Jamie Lee Dunning almost into the wall there. He got hip checked by Jacob Smith. Is now 3 wide going into turn 1.
Dunning
back to 2.
indeed into the wall, and back up front, it's Patty and Smith. First and second, but Blade Timmons has come back with a roar. Here comes Blade for Harper Motorsports, and suddenly Harper is back in this race. Tell you what, Blade maybe having an extra bush and saying, no, I can go another gear. Oh.
And just as you say that, we are under caution again there.
Hey, Christian.
But I do believe that was our longest green flag run.
It was at least 3 or 4 laps, so have another beer, Blade. And Adam Ball and Isaac Emerson having a coming together here. Let's see if looks like Ball has got it back going again, and there's Isaac Emerson. So let's see what brought out this caution. Looks like it starts just up there in front. That's actually the 9.
Oh, that's Cootie.
Cootie getting...
We have to stop interviewing people. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, this is just wild. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, it's well known. Does he get here? Does he get taken out?
Oh yeah, he gets help here. That's the 92 Mobile 1 scheme here.
And he's right behind.
And boom, right in the corner. Well, I think actually Vincent Loria gets into the 92 and helps him up the track into Cootie. And the 56 and Harper both sitting right there to see this, but yeah, you can see that Cootie just unaware that this is going to happen. He's just running his line and then just gets tagged and saves it, but unfortunately he used the 92 in order to save it, and the 92 goes around.
Well, some definite spatial awareness issues happening here tonight as we are under our 17th caution for incidents. Timothy Harper bringing it down onto pit road, Evan Patinko, Cody Eldred, and there is Emerson visiting pit road. And, you know, you talked about him. Why don't we go ahead and bring him up? Shoot, he's running in the top 10. He's up to 7th again.
Absolutely. I love that idea.
Well, let's see if we can snatch him out of the Harper Motorsports stable and bring him up here. It's a long old way up to the booth for Ronnie Norman.
As I like to call him, Ronald. Here he comes.
And I'll let you call him Ronald. Hey, Ronnie Norman, it's Trevor and Christian up here in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you, buddy. What's up?
Well, how's your race going there, Ronnie? It looks like that car's seen some better days.
I don't know what it looks like. Does it look pretty bad out there?
I mean, the hood's not connected to your right front.
It's not as bad as some of the other cars, though.
It's not, yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, it's had a little bit of damage. I tried squeezing by on the wall and didn't make it through. And we've had about probably a minute worth of damage tonight. Luckily, I haven't broke a toe link or anything, so it still drives pretty good. But yeah, no, we're somehow back up here in the top 10. We've been back up and down this field all night. So hopefully now that we're up here, we can stay up here. But yeah, I don't really know what to expect anymore.
Well, I do want to warn you. We did interview 3 other drivers, and all 3 right after the interview have been involved in incidents. So I said, why not bring Ronnie up here? You know, he's having an uneventful night. Let's talk to him.
Yeah, no, I mean I appreciate it. I enjoy talking to you guys. So hopefully the curse don't nab me. But no, well maybe you might switch my luck, and maybe I'll be able to get in front of these guys here. So no, we're trying everything we can. I don't know. I don't think we have to pit anymore. I know me and Blade are good on fuel, and I know Blade's been trying to figure out who's got tires and who doesn't. So we're just trying to see what we can do here, and hopefully we can keep it clean and get a top 5 or maybe even a win out of this. Who knows at this point?
Well, I think you're 1 to green here, so we'll let you get back to it. But hopefully, at the end of the night, we talk to one of you guys at Harper Motorsports in the podium positions.
Yeah, we'll look forward to talking to one of you guys. So we appreciate it.
So that is Ronnie Norman. We do appreciate him as always. Quite the talent behind the wheel, and always looking for a way to get a top finish in any of these in the NORA Cup and truck races. Ronnie's one of the best drivers over in NORA. It's so cool to see him here in the Icon Cup Series, and he's already up in the top 10 here tonight. Not a surprise. A couple of these Harper Motorsports drivers up there. But we come back to green, and Ryan Patty is coming back to the green as well, but he's got a rear mirror filled with that Jacob Smith number 4.
And Jacob's got a rear mirror full of Blade Timmons, as we see 3 wide on back. I believe that is Ronnie Norman, 3 wide, and Ronnie into the wall.
Well, that didn't take long.
It did not. That was the quickest broadcast curse I think we've ever had.
Norman dropping back 2 positions now as a result of getting up into the wall. We'll keep an eye on the curse cam. And Norman kind of settling back into position, but here we go for the lead. Ryan Patty out to about a 3 or 4 car length lead now as they come off the corner, and it looks like
Jacob
Smith
real loose.
definitely getting loose once again off of turn 2. This driver's really struggling with those loose race cars, and Justin Michael checking in saying this still isn't over. Ben Rivera saying this is ... bad. Well, matter of perspective. Ben, if this was a drinking game per caution, you would be having the blast of your life right now, my friend. Oh,
I was going to say that earlier, as now we have a caution here.
Oh, and we've got a lot of cars involved in this one.
Oh,
unfortunately.
No. Looks like the 227 was that? Maybe not.
We've got Purcell, we've got Slagle, Neal, Eldred, Loria, Harper. A lot of drivers involved in this one. Let's see if we can jump back and find out what happened here. This is Loria.
Oh.
67.
Just gets loose under braking, overcorrects, and then just everyone piles in. The 56 involved again, heavy contact. So if the broadcast curse didn't finish them off earlier, now it finished them completely now.
I mean, I'm telling you, this broadcast curse is serious.
Every time we talk about Harper, we just talked to one of his drivers and said, hopefully we have you up in the podium, and now he's involved in a wreck. It looks like there's something wrong with the brakes, almost, like the brake package for this track. Because every time someone gets onto the brakes, they get sideways.
Well, wouldn't you think we would have heard about that? People specifically complaining about that thus far.
Well, it could be an adjustment that they make with the master cylinder, pre-race, because you are able to adjust that. So maybe some people putting a little bit too much in and, getting the wheel hop instead of the tires locking up. And that's something that these cars do more than any other car on the service. They tend to wheel hop before they lock up tires going into corners. So you got to adjust the brake bias to try to get lockup instead of going around.
Well, you're watching the Lymphoma 151. We've got 25 laps to go here on VirtualRacing.Network, and as you can see, that we need a cure for lymphoma, and we're so happy to have Michael Jennings bringing that to our attention here this day. And here's one of those clever paint schemes that we were talking about. Some chrome involved in this one here. Back the blue, the number 10, and that kind of chrome paint job is that's something that's a little extra special to have to do in one of these liveries, Christian.
It is, and some people don't enjoy the chrome because whenever you're behind the car that is solid chrome, it's basically like looking in a mirror. So some people not a fan of it, but I personally love whenever the car is like a matte black with chrome numbers. That is, to me, one of the best paint schemes there can be. I'm more of a fan of that matte
It's kind of like a
texture.
It's like a stealth.
Yeah, like a stealth type scheme. I always love those. So no one in the field running that. Maybe I'll have to make a paint scheme for somebody to bring that out there. But Tim Harper just messaged me today and he said, I want to learn how to make chrome numbers. So I got to talk to him about that and help him out with that.
Indeed.
Yeah, he makes his own schemes as well. So you can see that scheme right there. It's one of my favorites of his. He runs that over in Nora as well, and I absolutely love it.
Well, and that's a perfect example of you can mix also the spec map, so you can have one part of it be glossy, you can have one part of it be chrome, another part of it be matte. So, for example, a lot of people doing that where they'll take the black half of that car and make it matte and have shiny parts where the rest of the paint is on the car and such.
Yeah.
So always cool stuff that you can do. And, of course, coming up to that 20 to go segment, we'll be able to officially talk a little bit more about it. But Ryan Patty out in the lead here with Jacob Smith in second, Blade Timmons in third, Bissonette in fourth, Gunther for the Detach House of Speed now up into that fifth spot. And where the heck has he come from? He's been back in the field quite a bit here tonight, but now he is finally starting to come forward. And might we see that number 31 finish on the podium or in the top 5? That's a good question. Can you believe the 227 and Gilbert into 6th? It just tells you how much changing has been going on with the number of cautions. Side by side just behind for the 5th spot. So you see Gunther and now Patton back in this one as well. The number 46 of Patton. Everybody look out for the pile driver coming through.
And as you say that,
almost drives it up. And oh no, Cootie decides to make it 3 wide coming off the corner. I don't know if that's advisable given the company that surrounds him. But Gunther and Patton now driving side by side through the corner for position. And they continue to go side by side here off of turn 2. We've got another car getting loose off the corner. Fortunately,
that was the 88.
Fortunately, the 88 did not bring out a caution. And Cootie now trying to challenge for that spot.
I think he wants to get back up there and get up into the lead, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time as we hit 20 to go here in this race. And, it took a while for us to get here, but it is finally 20 to go.
Indeedy do. That, in fact, means it is the Snyder Graphics, Facebook.com/Snyder Graphics 20 to go segment here, sponsored by Snyder Graphics. If you need a custom livery done on your NASCAR Next Gen Cup car or truck or Xfinity car, you name it, Snyder Graphics can handle whatever the request is. And of course, Snyder Graphics, Christian Snyder over at Full Send Motorsports, running full-time entries in both the Icon Cup Series and the Nora Cup Series as well. And always fielding some great liveries as part of that package. Just about let your imagination run wild with Snyder Graphics. And
battle for second. Sorry to interrupt. Timmons and Jacob Smith real tight through 3 and 4. And now Blade Timmons underneath them in 1 and 2 trying to get that spot here. And you got right there behind them the 00, which usually is what was his name? Our winner last week. Jovi.
Yeah, Jovi Ray, not here
that's
tonight.
a 06. I'm sorry.
But Blade Timmons, I was going to
Oh,
say,
and
we
the-
were just about to work to our longest green flag stint here. And
Yeah.
I definitely think Mr. Patty is going to have a talk with some of these drivers and try and figure this one out over this week and see if we can figure out how to prevent this from happening. And as I was saying, perhaps one of the things that we can do is to just shut off cautions in the race and have to throw some manual cautions. Here's Cameron King getting caught up in the latest incident. Two drivers come around here. It's the 93 of Cameron King, and I believe Scott Patton.
That was the 46.
That was Scott Patton, wasn't it?
Well, this time he's at the receiving end of someone overdriving the corner.
Well, let's check out the 46's point of view on this one, just because we can. This is what it looked like. There's Ronnie Norman. He's real close to the action. Almost gets the attenuator there at the end of pit road. So the 46 gets it back underway again, and we're under a caution. Hey, that's a magical number up there. 20th caution of the night. That means that someone out there wins a free pair of socks.
Or has passed out if they're doing the drinking game.
Exactly. Has passed out. Oh, my goodness. We appreciate the likes coming in hot and heavy. And certainly we appreciate all of you sticking with us through all of this fun and frivolity at Loudon, New Hampshire. This is just what short track racing is all about. Just sliding up the track and into your competition. Let's wiggity whacking go Cody Eldridge. Stephen Dombrowski saying, I may have jinxed it. Ben Rivera saying, okay, drinks are out at this rate. I can still get drunk. All right. Would love to be able to join you, Ben, but we're getting paid by the hour here. Michael Eldred, this track is notorious for slip and slides and spin out rides. You got it. This has been one heck of a wild show here tonight. And
yes, it has.
And fortunately, this is the best news that I've got for everybody is there's just 15 laps remaining.
But there's 3 green-white checkered attempts.
And there are, in fact, 3 green-white checkered attempts. So, you know, that may be the only green flag run that we get that's consistent. What if we could just get 15 solid green flag laps in? Would that be?
That'd be awesome.
That'd be something else.
We'd have a good battle for the lead probably for if it goes green here because we got, Blade Timmons, Jacob Smith, both I think fresher tires than Ryan Patty, so he's got his hands full if he's going to go green here to the end.
Well, we'll have 13 laps to go when we go green. And I just don't think that's asking too much. Maybe it is.
It's not. I mean, it's really not. But they're making it out to be that way. But I was going to say, if you look in 5th place, Cody has made his way back to the top 5, and he's got the freshest tires in that top 5. So he may be a contender here before this thing's over.
There is Cody, and you got Bissonette up there. These are drivers I just didn't. There's Tim Harper in 8th. How did he get back into the top 10? I cannot even tell you. I have no idea.
The crew has been working feverishly on that 12 car to make it work, and now he's back up in the top 10, which is impressive as we're about to go green here. Jacob Smith right on the bumper of Ryan Patty here. Let's see if he's able to get him in turn 1. Has the green flag back in the air here, and Ryan Patty with a great start, and it looks like Cootie already too wide for 4th place.
So Cootie makes that challenge for 4th. Is he going to be able to keep it clean? Will they all be able to keep it clean here? As we've got just 13 laps remaining here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Ryan Patty dives that car down into the corner, just trying to get as much space as he can away from Jacob Smith. Behind, it's Andrew Cootie separating from Ryan Patty by Jacob Smith and Blade Timmons. And now it looks like Bissonette is starting to close in on Cootie there as well. So just behind, we got some side-by-side. It's Ronnie Norman closing in on Kyle Gilbert and Timothy Harper. Now side-by-side between Gilbert and Harper. And they almost tangle there coming through the corner.
Gilbert got loose and came down into Harper there, but that's going to allow Harper to take the spot here, move him now into 7th place, as now it looks like Gilbert trying back on the outside, but battle up here. Cootie up to 3rd place around Blade Timmons.
Cootie has stolen that 3rd from Blade Timmons. As we were watching the background, you could still see them side by side back there with Harper taking that position momentarily. Or has he? Wow, it's just amazing. It's Gilbert really trying to challenge for that position, but Harper finally winning that one out. Now back at the front, it's Patty with just 10 laps to go. Jacob Smith behind and Andrew Cootie in 3rd spot. I'm not going to say it. I would love to say the color of the flag that has remained in the air from Barney the Flagman for several straight laps, but I'm not going to do it. We continue here. Ryan Patty in the lead. Jacob Smith in 2nd. Andrew Cootie in 3rd. Blade Timmons now in 4th place, and Justin Bissonette in 5th. Kevin Gunther in 6th, and Timothy Harper in 7th. And I think everybody, just out of pure mercy for us up here in the booth, have decided to run nose to tail and single file throughout the field. Christian, we might be finally coming down the home stretch on this one.
I wish you wouldn't have said that, because now I feel like you just jinxed it. But yes, this is our longest green flag run. We're finally seeing what everybody's got, and it looks like Ryan Patty's got a good enough car to maybe hold this one, but Jacob Smith trying to catch him, and as well as Cootie as well.
Well, Cootie had the speed early on. I do wonder if it just took him a little too long to get up here into the front. He's taken the shallow entry compared to Smith into 3 and 4, but I don't know if that's what he comes out and scrapes that outside wall a little bit, gets away with the 0x contact. And by the way, we didn't get much of a chance to look at the points, but Jovi Ray sitting out the race here tonight. Ryan Patty was tied for the points coming in, the points lead, and the way that he was able to do that is pretty amazing. He got a bunch of bonus points, including having 0 incident points, which of course actually pays bonus points here in the Icon Cup Series. So
yeah,
those
not many people are getting that tonight.
I doubt if anybody is, but certainly that is, it's just proof positive why you get up there, you get as many of those bonus points as you can, try and win a stage, try to lead a lap, try to lead the most laps, all great ways to get those bonus points. In the meantime, though, it is Cootie who's closing down on Jacob Smith for that 2nd spot. We watch on. This is getting tighter here for this 2nd position, and it is just 5 to go here at New Hampshire
Cootie
Motor
with the chrome
Speedway.
He hip checked him.
He hip checked, and he's continuing to try to hip check. Jacob Smith headed into the corner. You know what they say, rubbin's racing. Well, we're going to see if Smith wants to retaliate. Here comes Smith with the hip check. Bump. He did. There's the number 4, and he gives him a sizable hip check headed down the straightaway. Christian, this is some beating and banging between these two right now.
That's allowing Blade Timmons to catch them. They got to be careful. They got to get this sorted out. I know they both want 2nd place, but if you keep doing this, you might not even be top 3. They're still banging doors here.
They are still banging side by side. This may end in tears as we watch on. He hits the outside wall, does Cootie. Just manages to keep it off of Jacob Smith on the inside, and now they continue side by side through the corner. Just 3 more laps to go for your leader up in front, Ryan Patty. Number 4 going to finally tuck up behind, or is he? Perhaps going to try to drive it in deep on the outside. Meanwhile, Ryan Patty loving this, moved up to a 2.5 second lead. Here comes Jacob Smith again to the inside for second place.
It's the side draft, pulls him back going into turn 1. Let's see if he's able to make a move here. Not quite able to. He's going to get a little loose. He's going to try getting the momentum back here out of 2, but Cootie going to clear him. Let's see if Jacob Smith tries anything here for second place going into turn 3. Doesn't drive in too deep, but he may try to cross him over here and get underneath him like he did last lap. As the white flag in the air for Ryan Patty.
Ryan Patty sees that white flag in Barney the Flagman's hands, and you know what that means. We're going to close this one out here. So Patty in well command of this race now. Cootie and Smith still fighting it out for second place as they charge down the backstretch one more time, and now Timmons under attack from Bissonette.
I'll tell you what, this isn't over for second place. Jacob Smith going to try crossing him over, get him underneath him.
Patty going to steal the win here tonight by a clear margin. Cootie in second place. Smith settles for third. And Blade Timmons takes fourth place. Kevin Gunther finishes in fifth as we manage to have a wonderful green flag stint in this race and make us forget all about the earlier stints. Unfortunately, to Ben Rivera, who had only just started the drinking game, that means that he didn't quite get to finish it in style. But we're going to take a quick break here on VirtualRacing.Network, catch our breath. We'll get that final results up there on the screen for you. We'll get a chance to talk with our top 3 as they continue to crash into pit lane. We'll be right back here on VirtualRacing.Network. You won't want to go anywhere. We're going to be talking with Ryan Patty in just a moment. And welcome back here on VirtualRacing.Network, and this was a wild one for certain. You saw it all right here. This round number 2, New Hampshire, quite a bit different than round number 1 at Atlanta. This one, an absolute caution fest filled with lots of strategy on how to get through yellows and how to navigate crashes in front of you, but 3 drivers managed to do so well. Ryan Patty leading the group and taking the victory. Congratulations to him for the Detached House of Speed. Second place going to Andrew Cootie for CCH Motorsports, and Jacob Smith hanging on for 313 Motorsports there in third place. Rounding out the top order here, Blake Timmons for Harper taking 4th, 5th to Kevin Gunther, 6th to Justin Bissonette, 7th to Timothy Harper, 8th to Kevin Gilbert, 9th Ronnie Norman, 10th Jamie Lee Dunning, 11th Scott Patton, 12th Mike Jennings, 13th Isaac Emerson, 14th Cody Eldridge, 15th Cameron King, 16th Sean Purcell, 17th Adam Ball, 18th goes to Evan Patinko, 19th will go to Brandon Cawley, 20th Stephen Tuck, 21st Brad Slagle, 22nd Vincent Lauria, 23rd Cody Neal, 24th Cody Height, 25th Brennan Gregg, 26th Robert Lacavara, 27th, Christopher Howell. 28th, Brian Smith. 29th, Hanover Fist. And 30th, Tranner Dio. 31st, Justin Michael. 32nd, Mark Morton, who I don't think got a start on this one, and neither did William Baker. And so with that, let's go ahead and chat with our top three and see what they have to say about tonight's race. And first one up will be Jacob Smith, who manages to snag third place for 313 Motorsports. And what an amazing run out there tonight, Jacob. You managed to survive. Christian, I believe you have some questions for him.
Yeah, Jacob, you were able to survive for a top three there, and this was a pretty long race and pretty caution-filled. So, how did you manage to get yourself up there in the top three?
Yeah, that was definitely a caution-filled race. It was a tough race to call pit strategy on. So, I think we pit with about 65 or 70 laps to go. Me, Vincent, and Cody, and so it was going to be really close if we went green to make it to the end. And so that was our plan. We were just going to hope for some green flag runs and the leaders to run out of gas. But I think Ryan made the right call. He just didn't pit after the stage break and survived and was able to stay out and win the race.
Yeah, we tried talking to you earlier in the race. We pulled you up for an interview, and we weren't able to reach you. But it might have been a good thing because everyone we interviewed tonight actually got the broadcast curse. So you avoided that. But good job on getting third place and working the strategy well. How was the track? Was it super loose? What did you notice out there?
So we did a lot of testing and practice, changing around brake bias. It was plowing tight going into 1 and 2, plowing tight going into 3 and 4. But you can mess with the brake bias. You can get it to rotate under braking, and you can use the throttle to get out of the corner a little bit. So you just have to be careful. It was, it wanted to get loose in 3 and 4, and if you burnt the rears up, it was really difficult coming out of 3 and 4.
Oh, you were able to manage it tonight, and you and I believe it was Cootie had an amazing battle there for the last, it almost seemed like 10 laps. He kind of gave you the chrome horn there to get around you, and you gave it back. So, not sure how you feel about that, but it was an exciting battle for us to watch. But before we let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to or thank for your performance here tonight?
Yeah, that was definitely a tough battle with the 9 car. Yeah, he bumped me and had fresher tires, and I wasn't just going to give him a spot, so I wanted to at least race him for P2. There was no way I was going to catch Ryan, but overall it was a good race. Ryan clearly was on top of his game, and yeah, it was just fun time practicing with all the guys on our team, Cody, Vinny, and Brian, and hope to be back and do well next week.
All right, well, again, congrats on third place. That's Jacob Smith. Trevor, I believe you were able to catch up with our second place, Andrew Cootie.
Indeed, I was, and Andrew Cootie in the number 9 there, coming in second, and an amazing run from Andrew. We did talk with you under caution, but fortunately, you only had a momentary broadcaster curse. You kind of slid back on the track a little bit, but you fought your way back up there to second. We thought you might have something for Ryan Patty, the winner. What was it like for you overall tonight? You were in the lead. You did manage to pit and get fuel, and then what overall did you go through? What were the obstacles out there tonight? And congratulations on stealing second place.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I was really hesitant on was when you come off the corner, you've got that little lip on both corners, and if you press the gas a little too hard, you'll spin. So I was really working that mostly, but that was fun. I enjoyed trying to battle my way back up through the field, and yeah, it was. I enjoyed driving the Bruins car for the first time. This is the first league I've actually driven the car. So, but yeah, this is definitely a great finish. I was hoping for the win. Yesterday, my sister-in-law was in a car accident, and she just got out of surgery earlier this afternoon. And we were all, in heavy spirits and hard spirits and heavy hearts for everyone that was involved in the accident. But I was racing for them, or for her and everyone on that side of the family, and yeah. But I'm glad that I was able to get second. I wish I was able to get one more, but yeah, it was fun. Thanks to CCH and CCH Motorsports, I created the team in September, of 2022, and it's been growing ever since. And yeah, I'm just thanks to everyone a part of the team. Ross Corlett, he's my best friend and best man, or he was my best man, and thanks to my fiance Lexi for everything. She's currently flipping me off, but yeah, thanks to everyone involved in the team and everything that's going on. If on top of watching the broadcast, if you want to watch in cars, we have I stream my in car on the Kick Andrew Cootie on Kick. You'll just search me up. It's on it's on all my back bumpers. So just if you guys want to watch on top of the broadcast, which was actually really good, so just check me out, and we'll go on to what's next week. Do you know what next week is? Pocono. We'll go on to Pocono.
Indeed,
I'm good at
Pocono.
I am good at Pocono, so we're gonna hopefully go in win there.
Well, an amazing run from you, and of course our hearts out there with you and your family, and of course your sister going through that terrible event, and of course that's weighing heavy on your heart. But certainly thank you to you for coming out there, put on a great show tonight. A lot of close contact with a lot of these drivers, but Short Track Racing going to bring that out, and of course you've already said your thank yous to your team, but any thoughts about heading to Pocono next week? Should we see a whole different sort of race? Is it going to be a lot more like the green flag runs over at Atlanta? What can we expect next week?
Honestly, I've raced a lot of Pocono, so I honestly think that if you get involved in incident, if there's going to be any incident, it's going to be after going in through 2. 3 is really good for side-by-side battles, and turn 1 is just a mess if you're on a restart. So it's really just going to be about putting pressure on the driver in front of you to make a mistake, and you will also see a brand new car. I'll be driving Bronco Scheme, so it'll be it's going to be the same car. It's just with Bronco stuff on it. So yeah, I will see y'all next week at Pocono.
Well, congratulations on your second place, Andrew Cootie, and we appreciate your great run out there tonight. And of course, you certainly have Pocono to look forward to next week, and then a great another short track at Richmond the following week. So
yeah, I'm good at a lot of the races on the regular season, so we're looking forward to it. I think the only one I got is Michigan that I need to get better at. So
well, good luck with
hopefully next week we'll get one spot better. So
that's all you're looking for out there, and of course catch Andrew Cootie over on Kick, and I also see you've got YouTube as well. Search for him and you'll be able to see all of Andrew Cootie's in-car camera. I bet that's a kick. We'll see you over there, Andrew. We'll see you next week at Pocono.
All right, thanks guys.
So that is Andrew Cootie. He's taken second here tonight, and of course he just wants to take one better. But who took one better here tonight? It is the admin of the entire Icon Cup series, and last week it was kind of a missed opportunity as he took pole position and was leading a bunch of laps and managed to not take victory. But Ryan Patty joins us here in the Lymphoma 151 post-race chat from Victory Lane. Congratulations, Ryan Patty, taking the victory here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Holy smokes, you guys are still awake after that thing?
Well, I am. Christian, he was having a drinking game, so he kind of got passed out a little bit. But Yeah, we were just joking around with the audience and saying if you started a drinking game with the cautions, by now you wouldn't care who was in the lead. But Ryan, talk us through your race tonight. What took you to victory lane, and how did you manage to not have that spinning issue coming off of turn number 2?
Yeah, well, first off, when it comes to that spinning, I've run this track plenty. I grew up in the Boston area, so New Hampshire Motor Speedway is my home track, so I'm more than familiar with the layout of the track, and I enjoy running it. So anytime iRacing goes there, I get plenty of practice on the track. So really accustomed to the flat track style of racing. I used to hate it, now I kind of love it. And it's just a matter of practice, just getting comfortable with how to be easy on that throttle, not overturning the wheel to the point where it's going to make the car want to kick around on exit, and managing your tires. Track drive's a lot like Martinsville. A lot of people will say it. It's like a big version of Martinsville. And yeah, it kind of showed it tonight, right? I mean, with the amount of trouble that folks had getting off the corners.
Well, and the cautions, as we noticed, were very trigger happy to come out here tonight, and I think that's possibly a product of this racetrack, the way that iRacing has it configured. But maybe that's something that everybody might take a look at next week, if there's a way to shut off cautions and just do admin run cautions, because we did notice a lot of things getting triggered, even though the cars continued out there with no issues. But it was the same for everybody. I mean, all of the cautions that came out, you still got to fight through it, and that's, even though it's a strategy and a type of race that maybe not all of the fans out there would want to see, it's something we do come across on iRacing official races frequently, where there's just a lot of cautions. And then you get down to that final green flag run, and who saw it coming? 13 straight laps under green. So you got to be ready for those green flag runs as well. You really didn't know what to predict tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like any racer, right? I was hoping for green flag runs as much as we could get them. Obviously, we didn't. We had a lot of cautions. I think it was almost half the race that we were running around idling. But yeah, I mean, you got to play the hand you're dealt. I don't know how much you guys were paying attention to fuel strategy. I only came in once, and it was at the stage break to take tires and fuel. Normally it's a 60-lap fuel run, so you would have had to pit somewhere in the middle of that final stage. But with all the caution laps, I was pretty, smart about saving fuel, clutching it, shutting the car off, whatever I could do, and just barely had enough to come back around for a burnout. If we didn't have the last couple of cautions, I was going to have to come in with less than 20 to go, and most likely would have lost a top 10.
Well, we talked with Cootie under caution, and he said that he was in danger of being out of fuel. So I imagine a few were under that same situation, and that, of course, gave up the lead that you were able to take it. And probably the safest place to be was out there in front, especially with the number of cautions where you weren't really facing lap traffic having to come around this track. However, heading next week to Pocono, give us a little preview of what we can expect at Pocono from your perspective, and then, of course, we get to do some more short track racing at Richmond.
Yeah, Pocono's a fantastic track. Obviously, it's got a little bit of everything. 3 different corners that are modeled after 3 different tracks. I believe Indianapolis, Riverside, and some track that's not around anymore. But, they call it the Tricky Triangle for a reason. You got to be good in all 3 corners to be able to put together a good lap. Long straightaways in this next-gen car, it's going to mean shifting. It's going to mean drafting. A lot of cars together are going to be faster than cars that got strung out by themselves, so got to watch for that. Tire management does come into play, even though they repaved the track somewhat recently. So I love Pocono. I know some people may say it's not that interesting, but with the way it races almost like a super speedway and 3 different types of corners, it can be pretty entertaining as a driver and as a fan. So I'm excited for it.
Absolutely, and a nice mix of different tracks on the schedule. We got Watkins Glen coming up on the schedule as well, so a lot to look forward to. You were sharing the lead in the points coming into this race, but you'll head out clearly in the lead, and also taking over for getting so many bonus points as well. You'll be certainly doing well overall with a nice sized gap in the points, as Jovi Ray was not able to make the race tonight. But congratulations once again, Ryan, and of course to the rest of your team there at the Detach House of Speed. Fantastic race out there, and congratulations taking your first win here in the Icon Cup Series.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Trevor. Thank you for that. I appreciate you guys sticking with us. And a tough race, second race overall for Icon. These types of things will happen. We'll probably have some growing pains as we get the league going, but I think it's probably going to clean up a little bit as we get into Pocono and further down the road into the season. I'm pretty excited for what we can do with this group of drivers. Obviously tonight was a test for everybody. Difficult track, difficult setup, but rest of the season should be a lot of fun for the rest of us.
Well, good luck with the rest of your season, my friend. We will be watching with bated breath.
Thanks, Trevor. Have a good night.
You too. So that was Ryan Patty. He runs the whole show here in the Icon Cup Series, and yet he's isn't this familiar, Christian, to see this kind of thing happening? I mean, over in the Nora Series, we got Josh. He runs the whole show. He's a front runner, and now we've got Ryan Patty over here in the Icon Series, and he's a front runner. It's a lot of fun to see the guys who put in all this work running the show, and they do so well in the end. But Christian, this was a great race to test everybody's patience, including our audience out there. Can you give us some final thoughts before we close this one out?
I really thought you were about to say this was a great race and stop the comment there.
I didn't.
So glad you didn't. No, I mean, it was a good battle there at the end. And like Ryan said, these type of leagues, they have growing pains whenever it's new guys racing with people they've never raced before, and some less experienced than most. So, you got to mesh well, and it takes time to mesh drivers together. But you said about Josh and Ryan both being competitive in their own leagues. Hearing Ryan's interview just now, that was so much better than what Josh's interview would have been if this was his race. I think Josh would have said, I'm done. We're closing the league. It's over. Because he's just that way. He's always like down on himself. But Ryan, obviously he really wants this league to succeed, and I think it will. Just some, changes are probably going to be coming here soon. But yeah, this league has a lot of potential, a lot of good guys in it. Just got to clean up the mistakes.
Well, tonight, of course, was about more than just the race. It was the Lymphoma 151, and we do appreciate Michael Jennings bringing this all to our attention. Of course, Michael, in favor of his father, bringing us the Lymphoma Research Foundation. We greatly appreciate that. There are over 80 types of lymphomas, and every 7 minutes someone is diagnosed with it. While some types have high success rates of cures, there's still a lot of work to be done for one of the most common types of cancers out there. Lymphoma Research Foundation's where you want to go. That's lymphoma.org. Donate today to help the research. And of course, so much more that can be done to find out about this cure, and certainly if you have a loved one that is suffering, and anyone else in the family that is suffering, you definitely want to head over to lymphoma.org. So with that, I'm going to close this one out on behalf of Christian Snyder and everyone else. If you're not already a subscriber, make sure you smash that subscribe button. We do appreciate everybody sticking around in our YouTube chat room, and also hit that like button. We'll see everybody back here on VirtualRacing.Network on Tuesday night for the Nora Cup Series race, and of course next Sunday night from Pocono live here on VirtualRacing.Network. It'll be the Icon Cup Series again. So I'm Trevor Greenfield, and this has been another broadcast production of VirtualRacing.Network. We'll see you again next time on Tuesday. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your night. So long, everybody.